Okay, good evening everyone. Welcome back to session. Seems couple of you are new. Funny, I think so. Funny. And you? Friend, okay. Oh, okay. 6 p.m. Basically 9 a.m. is gonna start in the next week of Wednesday, but 6 p.m. will start after a couple of weeks. I think by 20th of this month it will start. Most probably, I'm thinking. Oh, great. What's your name? Huh? Manjukesh. Okay, nice to meet you. Fine, I think we can start now. So everything is good to start. Welcome. So I think today there is nothing practical left to go. Completely about your career guidance, resume building, as well as like how to apply jobs in different profiles. Okay. The first thing I want to start for all of you is I want to give you some insights about the real-time work, like how exactly your real-time was real-time work is going to happen, and what are your daily life activities as a DevOps engineer, and what are the different kind of difficulties you're gonna face in your real-time work scenarios. Okay. So let me start the session now. So guys, I'm telling you, whatever the course you learned, that is completely one part. And what are the document I'm going to share for you? This document is completely different from this course. Okay. So this document will have a lot of information about your real-time activities. First of all, as a DevOps engineer, our main responsibility is to deploy the application. Correct or not, sir? What is the meaning of deployment then? Deployment is nothing but process of installing the web application to web application server like Tomcat, Nginx, IIS, WebSphere, Glassfish. Okay, like this. So coming to web application, if I want to deploy a web application, I need to have web application server like Tomcat, Nginx, JBoss, IIS. Okay. Now I'm going to ask you a small question for all of you. I'm opening something here, Amazon. Tell me, is it a website or is it a web application? How many of you say web application? Raise your hands. Okay, and how many of you say website? None of you, huh? Okay, then I have a question for you. Tell me what is the difference between website and web application? One tier. One by one. I am here only. Okay, I listen all of you. You tell me the other bit first of all. Okay. I think already we discussed this point. Somewhat of point I said this one for you. Okay. So basically, the craziest part actually is whenever I take interviews, a lot of people will fail to answer what is the difference between website and web application. But still they come with 5 years and 6 years of experience. That is the craziest part. Okay. The only difference is website will be having only front end code. There is no such thing called back end code. But web application will have both front end code plus and web web application means database is mandatory, but for website it is optional. If you want to deploy website, all you need to have is Apache. I mean, like, sorry, web application like Apache, Tomcat, Nginx, JBoss, IIS. But if you want to deploy website, you need to have web server, like which is Apache and Nginx. Web application is a program that can be accessed via browser and linked to database. But website is a collection of pages like images, audios, videos, and everything. So web application interact with end users, but website cannot able to interact with end user. And website we can read and manipulate data, but website we can't read and manipulate data. Web application functionality is complex, but website functionality is why means website will have only front end code. There is no such thing called back end code. But whereas web application is going to have both front end code plus back end code. And the path to deploy website is where www HTML. Already you know this point. We've seen a lot of examples. But if I want to deploy a web application, the path should be Tomcat web apps. And you are going to deploy in the WAR file format. Already know what is WAR file. Collection of front end plus back end. Okay. Fine. So this already we've seen in previous class. Now, if you go for interview, let's take you put some experience. But for fresher, you don't get this kind of questions. Only the people who is going with 3+ of experience, you'll get these questions. As a DevOps engineer, you said you are deploying the application. What is the main purpose of deploying the application? You taken course. You done the course, you done some project also. But these kind of topics you don't know. Why? Because you never gone to real time. If you are in the real time, you might know the answer. So listen, the major essence of deployment is to adding the new feature to application. Let's take, I have a Paytm application. Which one? I have three services: Paytm Movies, Paytm Train, and Paytm Recharge. If I want to add flight tickets, I am going to do the deployment for the application. So to add the new features and to remove the bugs, that means already Movies, Train, Recharge I have. Let's take you have a bug in the movie service. With the help of the deployment, with the new code, you can remove the bug itself. Okay. The first primary agenda is to add the new feature, and next one is going to remove the bugs. And the third one is existing the, like enhancing the features actually. If you have a new feature, you need to improve the new feature. For example, if you open movie tickets in the Paytm, it might take 2 seconds. You need to make it 1 second. That means performance of your application need to be improved. And finally, breaking the large application to microservice. If you have a very big complex application, so complex application cannot be maintained by monolithic. Definitely need to go for microservice. So deployment is the pattern what you're going to use to break down the application. Again, I'm explaining one more time. If somebody asks you what is the main purpose of doing deployment, tell them adding the new features, removing the bugs, enhancing the new features, improving the performance, and breaking down the application into microservice. Is the purpose clear for all of you? Know? Online, what about you guys? Is the deployment purpose clear for all of you? Can you please confirm in chat box? Fine. Great. So next year, sir, you said what is the purpose of deployment? But if I want to do deployment, what is the things I need to have? First one, definitely need to have infra. Without infra, can we do deployment? Not at all possible. Second one, new release of without code. Can we do deployment? No. And third one, involving of development team to write the code, QA team to test the code, and DevOps team to deploy the application. Okay. So next one, creating the new DBs. Guys, for some deployments, we definitely need to create new database. Not for all the deployments, only for few occasions. Definitely we need to create the DBs. It is not mandatory for all the deployments. For some deployments, it is necessary to create the databases. Okay. So again, we need to have new infra. We need to have new release of code, involvement of development, testing, and DevOps team, and creating of new DB. And finally, approval of RM. Approval of, here, what is the term RM stand for? Release manager. For every organization, we have a release manager. That means if you want to deploy a newer version of your application, we need to get approval from him. Okay. And one of the interview questions that you are going to face as an experienced person is, what is the difference between release and a deployment? And a deployment. How can you differ them? It is also one of the important definition as an experienced person you need to keep focus on. Release is nothing but, okay, then deployment means, okay, let me explain on this way. Let's take a application with 1.2.3. For example, here one can be called as major version. Which version? 2 can be called as minor version, and 3 can be called as patch. What do we call it as? Patch. 1 is a major, 2 is a minor, and third one is going to be. For example, if you go and see, if I change the version 1.2.3 to 1.2.4, that is called as deployment. Deployment will update the patches. Deployment will update the from 1.2.2 to 1.2.4. Here, what is updating, major or minor or patch? If you update the patches, that is called as deployment. But instead of patches, if you update the minor version 1.3.0, that is what we can call as release. What we call as major people will fail to explain this small point in the interviews. Okay. Then what is the difference between a deployment and a patch? Means you said deployment is going to update patches, release update the minor version. In deployment, you are never going to add the new features. You are going to improve the existing features only. Where? In deployment. But in release, you are going to add new features to the application. That is the difference. So tell me, what is the difference between deployment versus release? In release, we have the new features. Minor version will be updated. But in deployment, we have the existing features updated. Okay. But here, which is going to update here? Patch. So is the difference between them clear for all of you know? Fine. Okay, sir. Now, next year, what are the precautions you are going to take to do the deployment? It is very, very important. While doing the deployment, the first thing you're going to take is backups. You need to take the backup of current build. That means var file. Already we take backup in Nexus and you can put on S3 also. Next, you are going to take the backup of DB. And we are going to provide isolation for developing environment, testing and production. With the help of workspaces, we can do. I shown you how to create it and how to lock it also in the last session. Can able to do rollback if the deployment got failed. How do you roll back? Already in Nexus, you store the var file of previous version. Take the previous var file, deploy it right away. Okay. And finally, make sure you are deploying on correct client and correct environment. Basically, this happened to me one time. One time what happened, you know, it is almost like a weekend actually. These people assigned, like my company people assigned a work for me. It took almost all like 1 hour to complete. But my shift will end in within 15 minutes only. In that case, I hurriedly deployed the application. After deployment, I got a call from my manager. He asked me like, Raham, what you have done? I said like, you given deployment, I have done it. But have you checked which client and which environment it is? I said, yes, I have checked. They asked me to deploy deploy the application on dev environment. But unfortunately, I deployed on client environment. This happened with me. Okay. This happened with everyone in real time, at least once. Okay. So please verify couple of times while you're deploying the application. You need to check the environment and you need to check the name of the client. You need to check the server name also. So generally we do deployment in which server? Web by app or database? Generally we do deployment in which server? Web server, app server, or DB server? App server, that is on Tomcat. I said this a lot of times, right? So please make sure that you are going to deploy on the application server only. That is on Tomcat server. So now here though we have done completely what is deployment and what is the difference between website and web application. Next, we have seen what is the purpose of deployment. Next, what are the things required for deployment? And finally, we have seen what are the precautions we're going to take for the deployment activities. So is the part clear for all of it till now? Online, can you please confirm is the part clear for all of it till now? Okay. Now, the main thing comes into the picture. That is, what are the deployment activities you're going to do in the real time? Guys, deployment activities is okay. But what kind of deployment strategy you're going to use in real time means you need to answer them very clearly. So basically in real time, we have lot of deployment strategies, but I'm going to tell what are the famous deployment strategies for the real time. First one will be blue-green. Which one? Blue-green. Second one will be rolling. Third one will be canary. Fourth one is recreate. Fifth one is A/B deployment. So I'm going to explain what are those. Okay. So these are going to be very, very important for you in the project to explain. So listen here. I'm going to explain through the diagrammatical format and every content is here in the text format. So see the diagrammatical format. Initially, how many servers I'm having here? Two servers. One is blue server. Second one is green servers. Blue server is the version 1 of the application. Which version it is? Version 1 of the application. Green server is a version 2. Initially, when version 1 is running, people used to access the application from the load balancer. I think all of you know how to attach load balancer to server. Okay. Once people are accessing the version 1 application, internally we create new servers and we deploy the version 2 code in the new servers. Once if new code is working on new servers, we will remove the target group and we will add the new target group. Now automatically target will be routing from old server to new server. That is what we can call as blue-green deployment. Which one? Definitely damn sure of interview question for the experienced people. In blue-green deployment, old code will be working on blue servers and new code will be working on green servers. If version 1 is running, we create new servers with version 2 code. Once the people using the version 1 servers, if version 2 is ready, we will route the traffic from version 1 to version 2. Now automatically load balancer will give the version 2 code to the users. This is what we can call as blue-green deployment. What do we call as blue-green deployment? Here the best part is we are going to replace all the servers at a time. That means all the old servers you are going to replace with new server at a same time itself. Second one is going to be rolling strategies. By default, Kubernetes will implement the rolling strategies by default. What is the meaning of rolling one by one, one by one? Which one? One by one, one by one. Like, let's take this example. I'm going to draw it diagrammatically. See, for example, let's take you are having 3 new servers or 4, anything is fine. 1, 2, 3. So here you are having the version of application like V1. Let's take it as version 1. Version 1. Version 1. And here also you are having version 1. For example, if I want to create version number 2, I'll take separate color for version 1, 2. First of all, I'll create the new pod with version number 2. With which version, sir? Version number 2. The moment if new pod is running, immediately I'm going to terminate the pod version 1. Similarly, I'm going to create the version 2 second pod. Version 2. The moment if version 2 second pod comes, automatically again this version 1 old pod is going to remove. Similarly, I'll create version 2 third pod and I'm going to remove the version 1 third pod. Like this, slowly I'm going to replace version 1 with this kind of strategy is called as rolling, and by default Kubernetes will implement the rolling strategy. Already we seen in class also, I shown you during the auto scaling concept, HPA and VPA. So first one is going to be blue-green deployment. Here all the servers are going to replace at a single time. Second one is going to be rolling strategy. In rolling strategy, one by one servers are going to replace. Here you can see, I have given it in a shortcut. Blue-green, all servers will replace at a time. Here all servers are going to replace one by one. So is blue-green and rolling clear for all of you? Online, what about you guys? Is blue-green and rolling clear for all of you? Can you please confirm in chat box? Basically, these two are enough to explain, but I'll tell the remaining concepts also. So you can explain whatever you want. Lot of organization will prefer blue, green, rolling canary. Depends upon their requirement. Even, you know, I worked on all of the strategies. It depends upon your organization project, okay? Fine. But majority organizations will use blue, green majorly. Majority. Third one is going to be canary deployment. Canary is the best one to explain. Why? Because I'll tell you one use case scenario. For example, you and your friend both are using WhatsApp, but your WhatsApp is updated, but his WhatsApp is not updated. Have you faced any kind of situation like this? Lot of times your application is updated, but your friend one is not yet. You know why? The reason, at that organization, at that application, these people are using canary deployment. Which one? How canary deployment will work, you know? For example, let's take, I have 3 servers here. Let's take 70% of my traffic I'll send to old server, which is having old code with version number 1. And 30% of traffic I'll send to version number 2. Out of 100 members, 70 people will get version 1 only, but 30 people will get. That means your friend has the old version, you have the new version. If this 30% got satisfied completely, then I'm going to remove the old servers and I'll get the new server with the new code. Now all of the people are going to use the version 2 application itself. This is what exactly we're going to call it as canary deployment. What do we call as? In canary deployment, first to 70% of users will send to the version number, but that means old server, and 30% of users will be sending to the new one. If this 30 is satisfied, everything is going to replace as new one. This is what we can call as canary deployment. Which one? Definitely, I think at least once in a lifetime, you might have faced this kind of situations. At that time, behind the scenes, we're going to use the canary deployment. You can call it as. And fourth one is going to be recreating, which is my famous one. I mean, like not famous one, which is my favorite one actually. Why? Because, you know, If you talk about canary, old and new servers there. If you talk about rolling, old and new servers there. And if you talk about blue green, again old and new. But recreating will don't have new servers. It have only one server. Best part of recreating strategy is we can save a lot of money and we can save a lot of time. Why? Because initially I have the server. In the server, I have the version 1 code. I stop the server, I remove the version 1 code and I put the version 2 code automatically. In the same server, I'm not creating new server. Here, versions are changing, but the server will remain same. Now tell me, do I need to create new infra for it? Do I need to spend time on it? No. The best approach for the deployment strategy is going to be recreate. Why? Because we not going to create new infras. Same existing infra we can use. But the only disadvantage we are having is downtime. What do we have? Blue green doesn't have much downtime. Rolling doesn't have much downtime. And canary also doesn't have much downtime. But recreating will have downtime. That is the only difference between recreating and rolling. So I can say this is the best approach, but we gonna face some downtime for it. And finally, last one is gonna be A/B deployment, which we never use in real time. This we use for testing purposes. Which purposes? Internally, you want to test your application in your organization itself, we can use it. But in real time, it is very difficult to use. So A/B deployment will have work with load balancer. We'll have to work with. I have port A. What do I have? Port A is having the old code and which is connected to my server 1. And port B is having the new code which is connected to my server 2 itself. Server 2. Now it is gonna send 50% of traffic to server 1 and 50% of traffic to server number 2. Server number 1 port number is A, server number port number is B. It is gonna test which port number, sorry, which port users are satisfied. Here you can see which is satisfied here. Port B. Which one? Now I'm gonna remove port A itself. Now automatically my application will be running on port B. So this kind of strategy we're gonna call it as A/B testing, A/B deployment, or A/B testing also pen, both will be same. But in generally we use this kind of strategy in real time. Okay, like that. So again, I'm explaining deployment strategy. Deployment strategy is nothing but the way how you are deploying the application. First one is gonna be blue-green deployment. Which one? In blue-green, initially your code will work on version 1 with the blue version. And once your new code is ready with new infra, you are going to route the traffic from old server to how to do it. Just change the target group. I think all of you know how to create target group and how to change the target group also. Second one, rolling strategy. Here you are going to update the application. I mean, like update the servers one by one until your version 1 is completely replaced with version number 2. And it is by default strategy for Kubernetes. Third one is canary. 70% will go to old, 30% will come to new server. If 30% are satisfied with new server, again we are going to create new server with new code itself. Final one is recreating. In the same server, you just change the application version. No need of creating additional infrastructure. But the only disadvantage is we are having downtime itself. And final one is A/B deployment, which work with the ports of load balancer. Port A and port B, I'll send to 100 users. Which port number users got satisfied, I'll put that port into working, and remaining port I'm gonna remove itself. And finally, there is one more thing called custom strategy. Custom strategy is nothing but if you define your own strategy apart from all of this, that is what we can call as custom strategy. And zero downtime. So as a DevOps engineer, we try to achieve zero downtime. That means your application need to be have 24/7 available. This can possible with the blue, green, and rolling updates. In Kubernetes, we can do it. Of course, for monolithic, it is a difficult to achieve. But in microservice, it is very difficult, very easy to achieve it. Already, we seen in microservice how pods are creating immediately, like that. So these are the deployment strategies as far we have seen. How many we seen? 5. Blue, green, rolling, canary, recreating, A/B. So are these 5 strategies clear for everyone now here? Online, what about you guys? Are these 5 clear for all of you? Can you please confirm in chat box? Okay. Now finally, I'm gonna tell you how to explain the project in the real time. So guys, lot of people get selected in the interview within the first 5 minutes only. First 5 minutes is enough for us to decide whether you are capable of working with us or not. Why? Because first 5 minutes will be intro about yourself and intro about your project. I'm gonna tell you how to explain the project while you go for interview. You follow the same pattern. How exactly I have framed the sentence here. Try to frame the same sentences. Definitely, I'm telling you, they will be impressed the way you explain. Why? Because here I have given starting to ending of the project, how the project will start and how the project will end. Okay, so try to listen. Initially, for every client we get for organization, we're gonna create the client account. What we're gonna create? There is a concept called AWS organizations. Let me show you AWS organizations. So for example, if I have 10 clients, I cannot use same account for 10 clients. I need to create different client accounts. If you go and see here, click on create an organization. For example, let's take I have Swiggy client. So I'm going to create, already I have the root account. Root account is under Satya management. So here I'm going to click on add AWS account. For example, if it is my Swiggy, I'm going to create Swiggy account like this. So give Swiggy at the rate of gmail.com. Just showing you how to create. Okay, that's it. Create AWS account. So similarly, after some time, like I'll get one more client called Zomato. In that case, what I'll do, create an AWS account. Now this time the name will be Zomato. So for every client, the first thing you are gonna do is you are gonna create the client account. Why? Because we are not going to maintain single account for multiple clients. Even those people won't accept. We need to have some separate work, right? So here you are going to create accounts like this. So it is a Satya account which we have created one. And one more thing is it is going to take some time to create the account actually. I just created now, but it will take some time to replicate. Okay. So you can see failed request to create account in last 90. So email already exists. So we need to create some different email to have the account. That is a step number one. What is the step number one for every project starting, sir? Create a AWS client account. If you go to organization account in AWS, for each client we'll be having a separate. Once you create account for the client, second one, you need to get permission to log into that account. So we have a concept called SSO, which stands for single sign-on. What do we call it as? See, in real time, if you have 10 clients, for 10 clients, you are not going to have 10 username and 10 password. I'll show you how exactly this will work. Wait. For example, let's take, I'm going to draw a picture. So it is my SSO. For example, I have multiple clients. It's my client number one. Okay. It's my client number two. It's my client number three. And finally, it is my client number 4 itself. Let's take you are having 4 different clients. For 4 different clients, you are going to use SSO. What do you use here? SSO stand for single sign on. What is the major purpose of using single sign on, you know? So instead of using separate username and separate password for all the clients, same username and same password will be given to the all the clients. That you are going to do with the SSO. And who is the responsible to give SSO for us means your IT team is going to give SSO for you in organization. Okay. So we are going to SSO, that is single sign-on, that is able to log in to client all account with the same credential. First of all, you're going to create organization account. Second one, you are going to have SSO sign-in permission. Now here, first of all, your project will start with creating the infrastructure. Your project will start with without infra, how can you deploy? How can you do CI/CD? No, right? So you need to explain. I am creating infra. So in my organization, first of all, we create AWS organization account for every client. Okay. After creating the organization account, we're gonna have credentials access to the SSO. From accessing the account, the first work I do is creating the infrastructure. In our organization, we use Terraform infra as a code tool. By using Terraform, with the help of Terraform modules, I create the 3-tier architecture. I shown you how to use modules in real time. So tell them you create infra with Terraform tool with the help of modules. You create which kind of infra? 3-tier architecture. Next, after creating the infra, for configuration the infrastructure, I use Ansible. In Ansible, I created the roles to install the softwares and to do the deployment also. Basically, entire deployment also here. Wait. Soft installation and deployment. And finally, after configuring the servers, I done the deployment. From the GitHub, we took the code. From the Jenkins, I have done the continuous integration where I get the var file. From the CI/CD pipeline, with the help of Ansible, I deployed the application to the Tomcat. You need to explain the same thing what we done in the Ansible project. Take code from GitHub, do continuous integration with Jenkins, and you get the var file. With CI/CD pipeline, with the help of Ansible playbook, have you deployed the application to Tomcat or not, sir? Yes. And after deploying the application, we have verified the application is running from load balancer DNS or not. After application is working, we intimate to the client. Client will check application is working fine. Then finally, we deploy the application to the production in the same process. This is how exactly you are going to explain the project in the real time. It will take exactly couple of minutes. In the couple of minutes, you are going to cover end to end about the project. I'm talking about project explanation, like not troubleshooting your roles and responsibilities. I'm not talking about that. I am talking about how you are going to explain the project. Later, your profile summary, like your roles and responsibilities, key point, everything will come later. First point, you need to explain the project very clearly. Again, one more time. What is the first one you're going to do here? You're going to create the AWS client account. With the help of AWS organization, you're going to create each account for separate clients. Now, if you want to log into the account, you are going to get SS4, single sign-on. With single username and password, you can be able to work with multiple multiple clients with same credentials. Now, with the help of Terraform, you create the infra with Terraform by using modules concept and you build the Twitter infra. And for configuration, we use Ansible. From Ansible, I use roles concept to install the software and to do the deployment. Finally, for the deployment activity from the GitHub, I took the code to Jenkins. I generate the var file. I do the CI/CD with the help of Ansible and pipeline together. After everything is done, we monitor the application through the Prometheus and Grafana. This you can add after verifying the application from load balancer. Point number 7 is monitoring. Monitoring the apps and servers through Grafana dashboards. Grafana. This point is optional. Why? Because in real time, as a DevOps engineer, monitoring is not your work. We have some separate IT team. For example, in my organization, if I have some separate IT team, I don't monitor the application. Even you don't believe, in my organization, I majorly never involve in this monitoring activities. We have a separate team. So this is optional. If you want to tell, it's fine. Or even though if you don't want to tell, it's completely fine. Is the concept clear for all of you? Fine. This is the way how exactly you are going to explain the monolithic architecture. Which one? Sir, for example, if my project is microservices, then in that case, how I'm going to explain the project? Same thing. Sir, for microservices also, first of all, create the client. Second one, get SS4. But here, for infra creation, I use Terraform or even I can use KOps. So I'm going to create multi-node cluster with 5 node. 5 node means 2 master and 3 worker nodes. Already we discussed. Why 2 masters? If one master fail, nodes will be not responding to the admin. So definitely you need to have the multi-node cluster. That means 2 master and 3 worker nodes. Now developers will give the code. Based upon the code, as a DevOps engineer, we write the Docker file and we build the image and we upload to the, already I shown you in the project level also how to upload. After uploading the image to Docker Hub, I'm going to do the deployment. In the GitHub, I put the manifest file. From the manifest file, I'm going to deploy the application to Kubernetes cluster with the help of Argo CD. And finally, I'll verify the application is running from load balancer or not. And finally, I'm going to monitor the application service through the Grafana dashboards. Okay. Servers through Grafana dashboards. The only difference there, point number 1 to 6, 7. Both will be same for monolithic and microservice, but only the middle is gonna be changed. Here, whatever you have done, everything you have done with your own hands on only. Okay. So even though if in interview, if they ask you to explain, you can explain each and every point. Why? Because you have done everything in the practical point of view. So this is the way how you are going to explain the project If you put monolithic, explain the method number 1, or if you put microservice, explain the method number 2. So is the concept of project explanation clear for all of you know? Same way, guys, make it by heart. Exactly how I say it. You need to follow the same thing. Why? Because it gives a lot of impression for the person who is gonna take interview. Why? Because here everything is step by step, whatever you are explaining. Okay. So the person who is taking the interview will feel that okay, this guy is giving point to point in a sequential way. That means he has some knowledge. So he will get that kind of impression on you by listening to this kind of explanation. Is my intention clear for all of you know? Online is a project explanation clear for all of you know? Can you please confirm? Same thing. No, Preeti, explain 2 projects. Explain both of them. Okay. Fine. So next here, I'm gonna give this document to the Google Classroom. Now the next part will comes for the what are the difficulties and daily activities as a DevOps engineer you gonna face in your real time. That is also I'm gonna add here. Guys, as a DevOps engineer, what is your daily work, you know? Can anyone tell me what is your daily work? I'll tell here daily works. Daily works. First work in your daily activity is gonna be checking the mails. Checking the if you log in at 9 a.m. at 9:01, you need to go to your Outlook and you need to check the mails. What are the pending works you're gonna have? Why? Because in real time, if you get a work, they will gonna send you from the mail only. They will create a ticket, and the ticket they are going to send to your mail only. That is the first work for every software engineer. I'm not talking about DevOps. If you are a developer, or if you are a tester, or if you are database admin, it doesn't matter. You are software engineer means check the mails. So from DevOps point of view, first of all, daily you are gonna check the pipelines. What you are gonna check? Definitely you're gonna build the pipelines. Daily you need to go to the pipelines and you build the pipelines. Next one is gonna be your cluster. You need to check the clusters. That means your cluster is running smoothly or not. Do you have any cluster outages like exiting the RAM, exiting the CPUs? Gonna take outages. Okay. You have insufficient RAM, insufficient CPU, like insufficient memory is there. You need to check it. So you need to check the pipelines. You need to check the cluster outages. And third thing you're gonna check is so gaps. Gaps means, for example, last time you done an activity. You done an activity. For example, let's check you did the deployment. Is there any gaps? Gap means like is there any difficulty faced on the deployment? If there is any gap for the deployment, you need to troubleshoot that issue. What is the issue? For example, if pipeline failed, why it got failed? If Ansible playbook failed, why it got failed? Or if Docker file failed, why it got failed? It is one of the things you need to check. You need to check the gaps of your operations, like where your operation is lagging actually. And after that, monitoring. Monitoring is one of the activity where you have been involved on. And finally, you are going to attend the, like you need to communicate with all the teams. Definitely, you need to communicate with all teams. And your pipeline means like pipeline deployment pipelines. Definitely, you are going to do deployments. Deployment through pipeline. So different environments. Every day you don't deploy in same environment. Different environment like you're going to deploy. First of all, checking the mails. Next, doing the deployment for the clients. Checking the cluster outages. Finding the gaps between like our operations. Monitoring the service and application and communicating with the teams. And last one is gonna be attending the daily stand-up calls. Okay. Daily stand-up calls. You can call as cadency call. You can call as scrum call or you can call as stand-up call. At the end of the day, you need to report to your manager what you have done today. And there will be some additional tasks. See, your organization will give some additional tasks. Like I'm gonna make it as number 7. Working on automation tasks. So this is also one of your responsibility. Like you can, for example, you have a server. If you want to make it automation, you need to write a script. Or in your server, if CPU and RAM is like RAM is utilizing more, you need to get the automation script for it. So it is also going to be one of the responsibility for us. So these will be your daily works actually as a DevOps engineer. The point clear for all of you know. Gaps means you're gonna write documentation for it. You need to fix the issue and you need to create documentation for it. Okay, I can write it as gaps for documentation. Like gaps or like documenting the gaps. Okay, so these will be your daily activities. Apart from them, you'll be having some separate tasks also. Like I said, you right. Recently, I have encountered with the issue. Some guy from other organization. And one more thing I need to tell you is exploring new tools. Exploring the new tools. For example, currently your company is using Nagios, which is a monitoring tool. But these people want to migrate to Prometheus. You need to go and work on Prometheus. You need to migrate definitely. Okay. So migration is also going to be one of the tasks which you're gonna face. And sometimes as a DevOps engineer, you need to work on migration part also. Which part? Migrations. So these will be the maximum works you're gonna do on the organization. Checking the mails, deploying the application through pipelines, cluster outages, monitoring, communicating with all the teams, working on automation tasks, stand-up calls, documenting the gaps, exploring new tools, and I mean like documentation you don't do daily. When there is a requirement, you do. And in new tools, you don't explore daily. Whenever if you have a requirement, you do it. Migration, you don't do daily. When there is a requirement, only you do. But first five, I mean logs, like let me make this one. First five is gonna be your daily tasks. I mean like first six I can say. First six. Rest of the four, when you have requirement, then only you're gonna work. Otherwise, you don't work on them. I have given on a structured format for interview to explain. So daily activity is clear for all of you know. And definitely you'll be having everywhere you have it. Online is the concept of daily activities clear for all of you as a DevOps. What you're gonna work on daily activities? Can you please confirm? Fine. Cluster outage means exceeding CPU and RAM and memory for cluster. Already we seen this one. Okay. So this complete documentation I'm gonna give for you. This document will help you a lot actually. Okay. And the next part is gonna be your career like resume building. But before that, I said you to do the GitHub activity, right? So basically, I forgot to tell you. Last class, I'll tell you. So how to build the GitHub profile. Basically, for other class, I said the GitHub profile building. But at that time, your class it haven't worked on. But don't worry. So I'm gonna go for your profile. So click on a new repository. I'm gonna show you how to build out it. Okay. It'll take only a couple of minutes. Name will be DevOps by Raham. I mean, like my current username is DevOps by Raham. Okay. So click on public and you need to click on add a readme file. If you click on this one, click on create repository. Now you'll be getting the file. Okay. In this file, you are going to write the content. Okay. So if you go to here, I'm going to type GitHub readme generator. If you go, you'll be having a lot of generators here. Select anyone. I'm selecting this one. For example, my name is Raham. I'm just putting this same things here. Okay. You just modify as per your requirement and come into skills. If you know any programming skills, add programming skills. If you don't know anything, that's completely fine. Like leave it off. So we have some DevOps tools also here. So you can add any of the database actually. Let's add MySQL Server. So you know Grafana. So I know all of these tools. I'm selecting the tools, whatever I know. So after selecting all of them, finally, if I go and then you can add your Twitter, You can add your Instagram, you can add your Facebook, you can add your YouTube channel, everything. After adding all of them, select all of the add-ons. Okay. Click on generate readme. I'm just showing you quickly how to generate readme. Okay. Now, if you click on preview, your page will look like this. Have you seen this one? Now, the only thing you want to do is you go back. First of all, copy the content, generate readme. I'll copy the content for all of you and I'll be pasting it here. I'll commit this one. Are you seeing the readme page now? This is how exactly like it is going to look like for you. So definitely you are going to generate a readme page for your profile actually. Why? Because if you don't have readme page for your profile, see like it is gonna show like this. We go to this one, DevOps Warehouse. So your repo need to look like this. At that time also we done the same thing, but unfortunately we haven't got the output. But same thing I'm showing you now. So try to add the readme page for your profile, which is gonna be very, very helpful for all of you. So I'm gonna discard them. I'm gonna discard this one. At that day also we use your account only, right? But it is not replicated for your account. I'm not sure. Yeah, for your account only it's not coming, but for remaining account like it's coming completely. Fine, like this. So guys, I will recommend everyone to add your README page for your GitHub. Why? Because it's gonna help you a lot. So I'm gonna give link for in the chat box and online. Please take this link and post on Telegram also. Okay? Why? Because often people will use it. Fine. So the next part is about your resume building. Guys, resume building is gonna be very, very important for all of you. Okay, I'll explain both fresher resume building and as well as experience resume building also. First of all, I'll be going with fresher resume. Basically, here I have given one project in the resume, but I'm gonna share a resume with two projects for the freshers. But in this laptop, I have only one project explained. So for fresher, the first thing I want to tell for you is don't use plain documents. Create your resume from Canva. Where you want to create from? I'll show you. First of all, your name, you need to give it. Don't give your surname first. Your surname should be last. So give your working mobile number and your mail. Don't give your funky boy ABC, lipstick remover Ravi. Don't give this kind of mails actually. Please use some official mail or create a new mail for yourself. Why? Because if you use some funky mail, so that is not going to be very good to see actually. Okay. And give the address how exactly, like where exactly you are locating. Career objective. You need to mention that to work in a challenging environment where I can showcase my skills, knowledge, and creativity to fulfill the organization needs to develop myself. So this indicates you are you are trying to grab a opportunity to work for an organization which will be beneficial for both and you also. So you need to convey your intention. If I work for your organization, I need to learn from you and I need to work for you. So the intention need to be clear. Coming to technical skills, all the technical skills you know. So we started from Git, Jenkins, Maven, Docker, Ansible, Kubernetes, Terraform, Linux and Windows as platform. Web app server is Tomcat, and cloud is AWS. Monitoring Prometheus, Grafana, Kubernetes, KOps, continuous delivery. What we use here, Argo, and Artifactory you can go with. So mention all the tools you have worked on, or if you know some any other tools, you can also mention them here. Coming to AWS services, whatever I taught you, you can put those services. Or you can put some additional service also, whatever you know. For example, if you done a AWS course separately, add those services here. It's completely fine. Coming to project, tell them take a reference code and deploy the application Tomcat. You cannot tell I have taken code from real time. Why? Because you never worked on company. So then how can you get the real time code? Tell them you have taken some reference code and that reference code you deployed on the Tomcat server. So you took the code from Git and GitHub. For build use Maven, for integration Jenkins, for applications I use Tomcat and infra use Terraform, and cloud is AWS, for Nexus, Artifactory and monitoring Prometheus. And so tell them you create infra first and then use Jenkins master and slave for build and deployment, and you set up the Tomcat for slaves to deployment. You take in the reference source code, you build the artifact with Maven, and you upload the artifact to Nexus and deploy the application on Tomcat through pipeline, and finally monitor the application through the Prometheus. And it is the project number 1. Project number 2 also there, but that resume is on my some other laptop. I'll give that resume also. But for as of now, use the static resume. Coming to strengths, mention team player, adaptable and flexible communication. Why? Because team player means you need to work on all the aspects. For example, you join as a DevOps engineer, but your organization wanted to work on cloud. You need to switch to cloud. Or your organization wanted to work on DB. You need to switch to DB actually. That is the quality of team player. Team player will satisfy every requirement of team actually. Second one, adaptable and flexible. The reason why I put this point, as a graduate, what is your timings actually? 9 to 5 or 9 to 4. But office is not your college. There is no fixed times. You might need to work from morning 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the evening, or from morning 10 a.m. to 7 a.m., 7 p.m., or from evening 2 p.m. to night 11 a.m. So there will be lot of shifts actually. And sometimes you need to work from evening 8 to morning 6 p.m. also. There will be rotational shifts actually. So you need to indicate that you are flexible to work on any kind of shift. You cannot simply go and I'm a fresher, but I won't work on shift. You cannot tell this one, okay? As a fresher, getting a job is important. You do not put any conditions for them, okay? Whatever the condition that they put, you need to accept those conditions. And finally, communication. Why? Because as a DevOps, you'll be communicating with all the teams. So communication is going to be very, very big strength for all of you to communicate with the all teammates. Coming to languages, whatever languages, put the languages. Coming to certifications, please don't put Narisheti certificate. You need to get the difference between certification and certificate. Certification means you need to pay amount for exam, you need to write the exam and you need to get it. For example, if you want to write Terraform certification, pay for HashiCorp. Examination fee will be roughly 5,000 to 6,000. And if you want to write AWS solution architect, pay money to AWS cloud actually. So examination fee will like roughly 10 to 13,000, depends upon time actually. That is going to be changed. And for CK also, roughly examination cost will be like 10,000. So that is called a certification. But you complete the course here. If Naresh Shetty gives a certificate, don't put it here. That's gonna be valueless. You don't have any kind of value. Okay. Coming to hobbies, what are the hobbies here? You can put any kind of hobbies, but don't mention cooking, gardening. This is not a hobby actually. Cooking is a daily activity. You need to understand what is daily activity and what is hobby. As a human, we need to take food to survive. Daily, you are going to take the food. Is it daily activity or like hobby? Traveling, some people like I face this on interview actually. One person put like traveling as hobby. He's from Hyderabad only. I asked him like what places you have explored till now. He said it's a daily I travel from Uppal to Madhapur, sir. What he said? Daily I travel from Uppal to. That is not traveling. Traveling means go to some different place which you don't know. Okay. Here you are traveling for your job purpose, right? Traveling means you need to explore yourself by going to some other place. You need to explore the culture. You need to explore how the things work on that separate area. Okay. Like this. So please don't put these kind of things. Okay. Your hobbies, your hobbies need to get some skill for you. For example, reading some good books, not only technical, something relevant to your body, something relevant to your divine, or like anything actually. Okay. So I have put some kind of hobbies which helpful for me. So you can put any kind of hobbies actually. Coming to education, you need to first of all put your graduation, then your inter, then only your 10th. In education, I'm going to mention one point very clearly. Basically, intermediate and 10th is not required. You can remove them. But if you want to put, you can put. And one other point I want to mention is, if you are having year gap, but still if you want to go as a fresher, don't mention year of passed out. Put graduation from so-and-so college, from so-and-so background, from so-and-so like percentage. That's it. Don't put the year of passed out. When, if you want to go as a fresher, but if you have some career gap, then only this thing work. Actually, this helped a student. Actually, now student is my cousin actually. He passed out on 2018. At which year? But he got job on 2021. Why? Because he never mentioned year of pass out in resume. I said him initially he applied for 30 jobs but rejected all of them. Like he got rejected by all of them. Then I seen his resume. I asked him to remove year of pass out. Within the first interview, he got selected. The very first interview. It's on DevOps only actually. Okay. This applied for the person who is having year gap. And one more thing. If your year gap is less than 3 years, no need to worry. But if it is more than 3 years, you need to worry. For example, this is which year? 2024. 21, 22, 23, no need to worry. But if you're 2020 or 19, then you need to worry about your future. So this point I am mentioning it very, very clearly. Yep. So put your recent graduation only. Don't put your rest of the graduations. Not required. Put your end of the year. That's fine. Okay. This is how you play tricks actually. Huh? 2018. Huh? From then, what you were doing? Just put the description. That's fine. Put the sales experience into like current one. I'll guide you. Don't worry. So finally, give some information here and give the declaration. And one more thing, whenever if you are mentioning anything on resume, don't put the word called basic. Don't put the word called basic. Why? Because basic is gonna like mark as red flag for the ATS resume. If ATS found anything basic, it's gonna mark as red flag. Your resume will not filter. Just don't put the basic word. And second thing is, before applying for any interview, please read the description of the job. Why? Because ATS will have some keywords. For example, in the JD, I mentioned like this. Let me open Paint. Yeah, like I am telling this point before the experience resume. See, for example, in my JD, just I am posting a job. Let's consider like I am the manager of my company. So I'm posting a job. For example, while I'm posting, the first thing I want to tell is I'll mention them like knowledge on KOps. For example, I'm like mentioning like this. So knowledge on KOps as well as hands-on working with Argo CD. I am posting the description. So in the ATS background, I'm going to update the word KOps and Argo CD. Now ATS, while filtering your resume, will search for these two words. If these two words are not in your resume, you won't get selected. Lot of people will fail for this reason only. Tell me one thing. You applied for 10 jobs today with same resume. Are 10 jobs going to have same JD? It's a basic common sense, right? Lot of people will do the same mistake. They'll put single resume for all the 10 jobs, which is not going to happen. Okay. So while applying for the jobs, please make sure whatever the JD is mentioned, put the JD keywords into your resume. Then only your ATS will filter. Even I am telling you one thing. Basically, I post job for the experienced people. For one post, I almost all get 100 messages. How many messages? Now, how am I going to filter all of the 100 resumes? Can I sit and see all of the resumes? Huh? That is the reason these people are using ATS. ATS will work on this way. If you prepare your resume as per JD, your resume will filter by ATS and HR will call you. You know, out of 100 resumes, only 3 to 4 will filter from ATS point of view. How many? Then imagine what is the power of ATS. Okay. And you know what is ATS full for? Automatic tracking system. Okay. That's it. So is the ATS clear for all of you how to build ATS friendly resume? The only way to build best resume for ATS is by reading the JD. Which one? And the other thing I want to tell for all of you is while you are building the resume, please use the Canva templates. It's completely free of cost. Let me show you. No need, sir. I'll show you lively. I'll download it lively. Okay. For example, you want to build a resume for you. So go to search box and type here resume. So let's take I like this resume. Click on this resume. Click on customize the template. There are some paid one. There are some free one. I need to go for free. This is free actually. Okay. For example, like here, like I'm gonna tell like I'm gonna prepare resume for Anirudh. Let's take. So Anirudh, I'm preparing your resume. Anirudh. Talluri. So DevOps engineer. Okay. So contact number, like everything JD, like I'm changing as per this document. Like just I'm showing you some changes. Okay. So everything I'm changing as per here. So modify your resume like this. After modifying, now what you're gonna do? Click on share. Click on download option. Are you seeing this one? Okay. So click on download. Automatically your resume will download now. See, if I click on this professional CV, see how attractive it is. Is it a good thing or not, sir? Even I tell you one other thing also. My previous batch student attended for an interview. While giving the resume, I tell them, please don't copy paste the same resume. Use different templates. But what these lazy people done, they use same resume with only changing the name itself. HR haven't even taken the interview also. You people are using same resume, so I'm not going to take your interview. So that is the reason I'm asking you to create template itself. It's free of cost, right? And very easy to see actually. It will get a good impression. And you don't believe, I got a job without going interview also. Based upon that resume, the very first one they have selected. They haven't gone for second and third round also. That is the power of resume actually. Okay. So I'll recommend everyone to go and create your resume templates. Content should be same. Content should be same. But this template is going to be changed from one person to another. And use a good photo. Go to studio and take a good profile picture. I'll suggest definitely. Okay. So that is the resume building for fresher. Now experience resume building, like I'm going to explain for you. Experience resume. So guys, for experience also, I have put couple of projects that is on my some other system. I'll give it later on the Google Classroom, but now see. So email, phone number, objective, everything is fine. Coming to profile summary. Profile summary will indicate what you have done in your work. Having a good experience in DevOps area, we're working with CI/CD implementation. Have you done with CI/CD implementation? Live hands-on? From code compilation to deployment. Everything you done with your own hands. Coming to solid experience in Linux. You already gone to Linux classes and I taught you some Linux part. So definitely this Linux experience is going to helpful for you. Hands-on experience in Terraform. Creating the deployment with the help of Jenkins pipeline. So how you create the infra with the help of Jenkins pipeline. And I've shown you how to create with the HCP also. You can put HCP here. Next, working on Terraform cloud to provision that means your HCP only. Worked on CI/CD for Jenkins automating the entire deployment lifecycle. And after that, creating the user and restricting the Jenkins jobs by using the RBAC concept. I think you've seen RBAC. I shown you how to restrict the user and how to give specific permission to specific job for specific user only. Storing the artifacts in S3 and enabling cross-region replication. Working in Docker, like creating containers, images, and network between them. Knowledge and working with Docker Stack and Docker Swarm. And like a configuration management tool like Ansible, we worked on ad hoc, playbook, handlers. We worked on Apache too. Nginx, database like RDS we worked on. And good knowledge in configuring the Kubernetes. Understanding the advantages and architecture of workflow. Resource quotas, services, PVPVC, and some AWS concepts. Everything, whatever you mentioned, have you done on live hands-on or not, sir? Yes. Coming to the professional experience, here you need to put your complete whatever you have done. So technical expertise. Project number 1, you need to give your client details. What you need to give? Your project name should be there and your client details should be there. At least you need to give 4 to 5 lines of client details. How many lines? 4 to 5 lines. You can add whatever point you want. But you need to have some knowledge. Okay. Guys, remember, if you put something on resume, you need to be able to answer with it. If you put a tool called Datadog, if you don't know what it is, if you can't able to answer, that's gonna be bad. For example, in interview they ask Datadog, but you don't know what is Datadog. It's a monitoring tool. Put that resume, go to any of the YouTube video for 10 to 15 minutes, just learn some basics. And in interview, tell them, I know about Datadog, but I haven't worked on it. So that is gonna be best approach. So here for client number one, put the tools. I used Git and GitHub, Jenkins, Ansible, Prometheus, Grafana, Terraform, Tomcat, AWS, Nexus, and SharePoint. And SharePoint is gonna be your ticketing tool. For example, in real time, all your works you're gonna get on tickets only. For example, if you go and see, I'll be showing the SharePoint for you. In SharePoint, how many pages it should be? 2 to 3 is enough. Maximum enough, 2 to 3 will be. Don't go for 5 to 6, okay? Some people will put 5 to 6 pages of resume. What I can do with it? Even I seen a fresher resume with 5 pages. Actually, I was shocked actually. You put the same thing, eh? Guys, the ideal resume should be only 2 pages. For fresher, it is one better. Two, okay. But for experience, two is better. Three is okay, okay. I can say. Guys, don't do that one, okay? Your resume will never filter that one. Don't do that one. So your SharePoint tickets are going to look like this. Let me open this one. Are you seeing the ticket here? So it is gonna like, let me type this one, SharePoint tickets. So guys, in real time, your tickets is going to look like this exactly. So if I go and show this one for you, it is your ticket ID, name of the ticket. For what purpose you would have the ticket? It is assigned to whom? And priority, is it immediate ticket or is it like low priority, high priority, or urgent? And requested by whom? Given to which team? Okay, assigned to which person and given by which person? Everything you are going to see. For example, if I want to do deployment, I'll get a ticket. Or if I want to create infra, I get a ticket. Or if I want to do database backup, I'll get the ticket. That means without tickets in real time, you are not going to work on any kind of work. It is a protocol actually. So, and one more thing, tickets we never gonna create. Developers and testers will create and they'll send to us. Based upon the ticket, we get inputs on the ticket. So taking that input and we're gonna work on the real time. Coming to roles and responsibilities, deploying the application in Tomcat web server. Already we done. Taking the backups, we'll have the scripts to take backups in real time. Automating the servers if running out of disk or not. So we have the Grafana and Prometheus alerts to our mails already we seen. Monitoring the services, integrating Jenkins with tools like Git, Maven, Nexus, Ansible, Tomcat, Terraform, we already seen them. And Docker also we seen them. Worked on Jenkins, installing, configuring, and maintenance, and do the end-to-end build for deployments. Configuring the schedule project like cron job, PolSM, and webhook. In case of any new infra, you create the jobs to perform the basic task. Configuring the pre-build and post-build actions. Always success failure, we already seen. Next, deploying the artifact like var file, jar file, and year file in the Tomcat server. Using the Ansible vault to secure information like username and password. Configuring the playbook to change the servers. Writing the playbook for automation. Taking the instance backup by using snapshot and migrating from one region to another region. Pulling the artifact from Nexus to deploy the application on the playbook. Maintaining the Confluence page. Confluence is nothing but it's the official documentation for all of you. In real time, if you do any work, that work you are going to do documentation in the Confluence itself. It's an Atlassian tool. Which one? Basically, we have the Atlassian suite actually. Atlassian company will give lot of products for the real-time working. You can create tickets from Atlassian tools. You can maintain Confluence page. You can do lot of things. You know Jira, right? Jira. It's a ticketing tool. It is also like Atlassian product actually. Like that. That is project number one. And in project number two, you have microservice. So Git and GitHub, Argo CD, Docker, Kubernetes, KOps, Tomcat, AWS, and Docker Hub, and SharePoint. Here you need to give the client details of project number two. While giving client details, mention the name of the application, what you worked on, and for what purpose the application is working on, and how many clients you have been working with. At least this need to be 3 to 4 lines. How many lines? Like that. And for project two also I have given roles and responsibilities as per our class only. Like this. And one more thing, it is not mandatory to put multiple projects. Single project is enough. Why? Because let me tell you, if I'm working on a product-based company, how many projects will be working on? Only one project. But if it is service-based, you will be having more. So if you work on product-based for 3 years, then you can put only one project. There is no mandatory or necessity to put the multiple projects. But again, it depends upon your choice to put single or multiple projects. I'll suggest to go with two at least for experienced people. Better one I can say. And one more thing, the people who is having year gap, so you cannot go as a fresher. The only thing is you need to go with some experience only. For experience, take some good documents that which can clear your BGV and prepare the content that what I have delivered for you. That is maximum enough to get the job. I'm telling you, lot of my previous students gone with some experience. I shown you live proof also in the class. One guy got 16 LPA for 4 years. Other person got 13 LPA for 2 years. And one other person recently called Shrikant. He got the package of 10 LPA with 3 years of experience. Everything is fine. Even freshers nowadays getting 6 LPA from our institute only, from our students only. Okay. So if we are going with experience, no need to worry. If you prepare my syllabus and my topics, whatever I covered, that is maximum enough to get the job. And resume should be built as per I have given. The only thing is you need to have some patience. If you put your resume, don't expect calls from tomorrow. It will take some time actually. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months also. But the only thing is we need to have some patience for it. When is your passed out? How much of experience you have? That's what I'm telling. How much of experience you are having? Of course, you go with 3 years of experience. You get 10 lakhs of package. At the time of BGV, they are going to ask you your year of passed out. You will tell 2023. With 2023, how will you get 3 years of experience? Tell me this one. Freshers need not to hurry. Guys, I'm telling you, if you want good package, try to write certification exams like Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform. I'll tell top three certification for your future. Top three will be first one, Terraform will come on third place. Second place, CK, Certified Kubernetes Administrator. Top one will be AWS DevOps Professional Certification. Which one? Terraform, CKA, and AWS DevOps Professional. So these three will be the top certificate for every DevOps engineers. If you have at least one of them, you will get a good package. For example, if you are having 2 years of experience, your current seat is like 6 to 8 LPA for 2 years. If you write the certification exam, directly you can go to 12 LPA. There is a guy actually with 3 years of experience, he got the package of 25 LPA. How much? He is certified on DevOps. AWS DevOps professional certification. The more you certify it, the more your package will be. And one other tip I just want to give all of you is start working in initial part of your career. If you start your career with 6 LPA, after 5 years, you can go to 30. But if you start with 3 LPA, it is very, very difficult to go to 30 LPA. So what I'm suggesting for everyone as a fresher here is work hard at initial of your days. Try to get more knowledge. Try to write more certification exams. The more you write certification exam, the more your package will be high in initial days. After 5 or 6 years, your package will gradually keep increasing. Why? Because I have seen this scenario. Basically, I have a student called Hemant actually. His current package is 25. What is current package? And there I have seen Ramo actually. He just got placed. His package is 6 LP. That means 50K per month. If Hemant want to go to 50K, he need to work for at least 2 to 3 years. But this guy started with 50K. And after 3 years, his package will go to 70 or 80K. Seen the difference or not? So I'll recommend everyone to start your career with good package. Of course, if you don't get good package, it's completely fine. Go and invest at least 1.5 to 2 hours of time to prepare for certification exams. The more certification exams you write, the more package you'll get in the future. Is my intention clear for all of you? For everybody, I'm telling this one. So that you need to manage on your own risk. See, you don't have any option apart from going experience. So in that case, you need to get the certification from a good reputed organization, but which will clear your BGV. Of course, in market, there are a lot of companies which can clear your BGV. So finally, we started our course at which date? April 18th. So it's been almost like 6th of June, sir, July, I think, so right? So I just want to ask all of you, like, how's the journey of DevOps? Are you satisfied, first of all? Really satisfied. Hmm. Professional level, that is. Yeah. So basically, your AWS certification will be on 4 levels: practitioner, associate, professional, specialist. First of all, start with associate. If you are good with associate, then go for professional, then specialty. But as per DevOps point of view, solution architect, first of all, you can do. Then later go for professional AWS DevOps. And if you do both of them, then go for Docker, Kubernetes, or Terraform. Any one thing is fine. If you ask me, this will be the top actually. Okay, from online. So online, I would like to ask you one thing. So it's been almost like 2.5 months we have started our course. So I would like to take response from you, like how the entire course for all of you. So you can ping on your comment section, like how you felt about the course, the way I explained, the way I interact, and the way I teach the subject, how it felt for you. You can ping your response on chat box online. Yeah. Now coupons, like on very special occasion, they'll give the coupons. Not every time. Sometimes they'll give the coupons. In normally the charge will be 15,000 or like 13,000. But from the coupons, you can get within 8,000. Yeah, $150. $80 you can get it actually. So it was a great experience and great learning. Fantastic and really appreciable. Thank you, Nayan, and thank you, Srinivas. Very, very satisfied. Okay. Yeah, sure, Priti. Definitely. So everything will have an end actually. So just like our course too. Amazing journey. The way you teach is really amazing, sir. That's the reason I love Hyderabad and Amirpet. In Arisheti also. Okay. So due to my teaching, so I got some operation for Hyderabad, Amirpet, and Arisheti also. It was great, Shamsuddin. And thank you, Shubhangi and Ankit. Yeah, it's gonna be last class actually. So how many classes done till now? Like working videos? 61 by this day, I think so, mostly. Yeah. As per the syllabus, like everything got done, completed. For IELTS, you have written? Coupon, okay. Sure. And one more thing is, guys, the course is done just. Don't think after the course, our bonding is done. Okay. So after the course also, you can contact me. You can ask me some suggestions. You can ask me some feedbacks, like everything. Even if you want to come to mock interviews also, you can come. For example, the course is done, but you are having gap in learning. For example, Kubernetes is not clear for you, or Terraform in some concept is not clear for you. If you want to revise, come to institute and sit here. Nobody is gonna stop you. But before coming, just let me know. I'll tell to admins. So this kind of flexibility I'll provide. Or after completing the course, or if you want to attend mock interviews, I'll allow you to mock interviews. Or you build your resume. You want to review the resume. You can put your resume in your Telegram for me, and I'll be responding there. But mostly try to be in contact with me in like LinkedIn actually. Why? Because in Telegram, I get lot of messages from lot of students. So it will become very difficult to give response for all of you. But in LinkedIn, I'll be active always. And my LinkedIn ID will be Raham Sheikh. Think all of you know this one. And even if you go to my GitHub also, you can see my LinkedIn ID there. It's like on social media, like I can say. Sure, Shamsuddin, like whatever class you missed, let me know. Like I'll be adding it to the next batch. Yeah, interview questions I'll upload just now right away. Wait, I think you people has been waiting this for long time. So let me upload right away. Yeah, like, thank you, Ankit. Sir, for online also you can provide. Yeah, definitely, Bhavani. See, if you are my student, mean that doesn't mean like online or offline. Whether you are online or offline, you are my student only, and same way of treating for both of you. Okay. But offline will have the privilege to interact and to get more knowledge actually, and you are more fun also there when compared with online. 6 p.m. Right? I'm gonna upload the notes by wait. Mm. Yeah. Even I too. Interview questions, troubleshoot, and resumes. I'm uploading everything here. You can just have a look into it. Interview questions done. Troubleshooting done. Resumes I already given. Huh? Okay, then that's fine. Keywords. Like yeah. In LinkedIn, if you want to give keywords, like keywords not like you need to optimize your profile. You need to build a top profile actually. See, Naukri and LinkedIn both actually. See, in LinkedIn, if you have a job opportunity, don't ping, I'm interested. Please call me or please ping me. These people won't ping you. You need to ping them actually. You need to approach in a better way. Okay. And Preeti, sir, thank you so much. I really would listening to this one. Yeah, definitely, Preeti. Always welcome. So I have given the resumes to you, and I have given the like PDFs, notes, and everything is there. If something is missing, please let me know. If something is missing. So and in future, if you want to communicate with me, you have Telegram channel and you have LinkedIn channel also. You can communicate me. And if you want to come here for any guidance, you are always welcome. But before, if you try to come here, please like intimate me before. Okay. But because if you come here at the time, I'll be not available. So it's gonna be waste of time for you actually. CLI notes haven't given. Huh? I think it's on some other like a system push. I'll update it. Don't worry about it. For SCP, I don't have any notes actually. I just explained you. Okay. Even I don't have any notes for it. It feels like last day of your college. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Um, that also I'm going to explain. Wait, I think, wait, I need to explain, upload this one. I forgot to upload this one. Thanks for reminding me. Give me a second. So guys, I have given the project explanation, strategies and everything also. You can take it from here. We're going to miss your energetic voice. Basically, my voice shattered from last 1 week actually. I lost my voice completely. Shubhangi. And Bhavani sir, for experienced people, how can you apply jobs? Which platform is best? Naukri and LinkedIn both. But there are some other platforms also. Indeed is there, Monster is there, and this is called Hirect is there. There are a lot of platforms you can go and apply. Glassdoor is a review actually. For example, if you want to review about any company, you can go and you can check on Glassdoor. And one more thing, basically, if you are going for an interview, first of all, just try to go for that company website. You need to know about that company in minimum basics. If you're going for TCS, just know about something TCS. What is TCS? Who is the CEO? Who is the head? How many branches they have? What kind of projects they'll do? Just have some minimal knowledge about it. And if it is offline, so try to be informal. Have a good grooming. Have a good haircut. Have a good beard cut, and have a good plain shirt. That is formals. Okay. Why? Because the first impression they will get is by seeing you only. By seeing you, if you look somewhat of good in a professional way, then your 50% of impression is done there. Okay. Of course, if it is virtual interview, like there is no issue with it. But if it is not virtual, so definitely use formals. Yeah, some people used to attend interviews in t-shirts also. Tees. And Puchta sir, I have non-IT experience in 6 years. I can split three, definitely 3 into DevOps and 3 into your non-IT. For example, if you have some experience in your organization, the thing you can do is put that for 1 year and rest of the things to DevOps, or completely put it to DevOps. That's completely fine. You need to take it separately now without PF. How that? And one more thing, guys, if your organization is having less than 25 members, there is no need to have PF. It's acceptable. If it is a small startup with less than 20 members, PF is not mandatory, but you need to have experience letter and relieving letter for it. Yeah. Mm. I'll recommend convert that all of the experience into DevOps. Tell them completely work on DevOps. Take some certificates for some like different organization and put it. That will be fine. No, no, for pressure we will provide Bhavani. For experience, not in Naresh, nobody will provide actually. Okay. And this placement Ashton is completely free of cost. So it's for freshers mostly. And one more thing, guys. Once if your like course is done, so in Naresh IT, you need to go to placement cell. Go to official documentation, sorry, official website. So are you seeing the careers here? Are you seeing job openings? Placement registration. Click on this one. If you click on this one, so for example, you've done your course in DevOps. Okay, click on this one. So you need to give your name, mobile number, email. And if you click on submit, these people are going to call you and verify that your course is done or not. If your course is done, then these people are going to send mails. So through that mails, you're going to get the openings. So definitely please go and register on this one. Okay. For freshers. Yeah. Don't worry, for experience, I tried to post on LinkedIn. So follow me on LinkedIn. Mostly it might help you. अभी तो कुछ अपडेट नहीं उसके बारे में. Sir, how many rounds of interviews? So basically depends upon the organization. Some will keep 3, some will keep 2 only. So Srinivas, we cannot decide. So it depends upon the organization mostly. Okay. So finally, that's the end of the beautiful journey between you and me. But don't worry, after this journey ends also, still I'm your trainer and you are my students only. Whenever if you are having any kind of requirement or if you want any kind of guidance from my end, I'll be there with all of you. So all the best for all of you in future. So definitely you are going to get a good job in upcoming days. Please be patient, be consistent and be focused. That's it. So this is Raham. I'm signing off. But as of now, have a great journey ahead. Thank you. Thank you all of you. And if you get a job in future, please intimate me. That's gonna be very, very happy for more than you for me. Thank you all. Thank you. Have a great journey ahead. Bye.